What's up, Sportscast? From the SportsNStuff show, the Kings of Sports. I'm Adam.
And I'm Carter.
And let's get right into it. Man,
You slip into a little accent there?
What?
You slip into a little accent there?
I know. Working at Outback in my Australian accent. Yeah, we've been gone for a bit, but we're back now. Yeah, episode 48. Man, we're getting to that 50 mark.
Almost there.
Eventually. Yeah. I think right now the main goal for us is to get 10K on TikTok, because I think that's that's our main approach. I think once we make that, we'll be happy. So if you're listening from TikTok, follow. Yeah, I think that's when we can get monetized too and stuff like that.
10K.
So, yeah, 10K. But woo, did you know? So my mom, she started making reels on Facebook, and she made $500 in 1 month off of
What?
Facebook Reels.
What?
I'm not even kidding.
Your mom popping on Facebook?
What makes it even worse is that I taught her everything about making Reels and TikToks and everything, and she made more money in 1 month than we have our entire.
Damn.
Yep.
What's her secret?
Unfortunate. She's on Facebook, and she's also targeting, because she does makeup, but she's targeting an older demographic.
Yeah. Which
kind of makes sense for Facebook, and Facebook is pushing views and stuff on their stuff. But I'm like, dude, what? I know for TikTok they have you have to get 10,000. I don't know if they have a threshold on Facebook about how many followers you have to have to get views, but I wish because we've had quite a bit of views. We've had 1 million for one time. We've had almost another we've had one that went 800,000, 1 million, 500,000, stuff like that. So, man, imagine. But like they said, I've already said this before. They it's if you're funny, you get the like. So apparently we're funny, but you don't get the follow unless you're attractive. Mm-hmm. So apparently we need to up our game, up our visual game.
I guess so.
Do thirst traps and stuff. But yeah, I kind of thought of that. I'm like, man. But once we hit 10K, and I know it's on YouTube, it's 1,000 subscribers. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think we're at we're almost at 200 on there.
Okay.
But I don't know. The YouTube's kind of been suffering a little bit.
A little bit.
Oh well. We're back. It should be back on the game, back on the grind. But I think that's all the updates. Yeah, awesome. On to Boise State.
Yeah. So football's now 6-3, 5-0 in the conference though. We lost to BYU.
I hated that.
We lost to BYU. It was 31-28. I don't know what to say, man.
We should. Okay, if I'm gonna be honest, we shouldn't have lost that game. They did bring up valid points where in the post-game press conference where JL Skinner and Andy Avalos, they were saying, it did come to down to that one call, but it shouldn't have. Where they were like, yeah, they shouldn't have let the screens go for that long to get to that point.
Which is true, but
also the refs screwed us over on that catch.
It wasn't just that catch though. The pass interference.
Yeah.
There was 3 pass interference calls that went uncalled.
It was stupid.
It was rough.
The refs were definitely against us.
It wasn't as bad as Oklahoma State last year, but it was.
Yeah.
That was the vibe I was.
That's
getting.
what it reminded me of.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I kept on saying in the post game, I'm like, dude, this reminds me just like Oklahoma State, where everyone thought we should have won and we didn't, and it came down to basically one play, and it's like.
Yep.
Of course, there's a couple of plays that could have gone a different way. We would have, won the game. But the thing that made me the most mad was I was sitting next to a reporter for BYU, a student reporter, and that pissed me off because they were talking mad, and I'm like, dude, you're losing right now, and you're talking all this, and I'm like, dude, come on. And then the whole time he's like, yeah, that's a catch, and I'm like, dude, he didn't even get in bounds.
He tapped the 2 feet.
But he didn't even have possession.
And then he got possession. And
then he tapped out.
I just don't think he had another foot.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
And I kind of expected that they weren't going to overturn it because they didn't overturn the other 2, which were pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. We didn't get that touchdown.
Which one?
The one where he was right over. Because there's 2 goal line.
They didn't give that to us.
Returned.
They didn't give it to us,
which they shouldn't have. Or no, I think they should have.
He was and in. It didn't matter. And then we scored the next play.
And then the other one, yeah. But then on the I think
the one at the end of the half. You think BYU?
So? I think he got it.
That was close. I don't know.
But they ended up not giving it to him, which I think they kind of got screwed there. But man.
Well, yeah. So that was the last scheduled game between the two teams. We'll see what happens as BYU moves into the Big 12. But I hope they keep that rivalry going.
Yeah.
It seems like every year, one team's going in a positive direction, one's going in a negative, and the one in the negative always wins.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a rivalry of screwing each other over, kind of seems like. But
or even last year.
Yeah, right. They were top 10 when we beat them.
Yep. Man.
In reality, I don't think this kills anything. I think every goal that we had going into this game is still achievable. Like, it's not like we weren't going to win a New Year's Six Bowl. Like, we weren't getting there.
Yeah.
We weren't.
So at least getting ranked. That's our goal.
Getting ranked is still doable if you win out and win the championship. And obviously, the championship is still in play. We still lead our division and the conference.
Yeah, because they're technically not a division game, even though
right.
we think of them as a rival, but they're technically not. But.
Right. So there's no goal that this killed, really. It's just a tough loss. And
yeah.
We probably would have been ranked if we won, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially with Oregon State losing and a bunch of ranked teams lost this week. But either way, next game is on the road at Nevada on Saturday. Nevada, who is 2-7, 0-5 in the conference. They are terrible.
Yeah.
They're very, very, very bad. We play them in Reno. We can't. We're not going to lose that game. I'm sorry. Like I don't know what to tell you. We're just not. We opened as 21-point favorites and
should be kind of like Colorado,
It should be. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Some silver lining. Talon looks awesome.
Yeah.
We've been gone a couple weeks.
Drive,
that wasn't even on him.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He have to admit,
well.
I was doubting at first. I'm like, this dude's an athlete. He can run. I don't know if he's going to be able to
Talon time
to learn to throw before next year or the year after. He's spinning it. He's way more accurate. He's escaping and still looking to throw rather than only run. He's a freak athlete, man.
He was kind of dotting because
he was.
There was some narrow and tight coverage that he had the whole game.
There was one specific throw where he was rolling to his left and he stops, flips his hips and dumps one over two defenders. As soon as he released it, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's a pick. What are you doing?" And then it goes right over their hands, right perfect. I think it was Cobb's. Or Capel.
Dude, he had quite a few, and
Dude, he was spinning it. I didn't even look at his numbers from the game,
dude, he was
honestly, but I'm sure they're good.
Man. Well, he did have a fumble, but
yeah, but
other than that,
dude's a redshirt freshman playing like this.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
You can't put this loss on Talon in any way. He was 17 of 23 for 220 and 2 tuds.
Man.
Yeah, and
oh, did you know? Okay, I looked this up the other day. Did you know that the quarterback rankings for college football can go up to 7,000? That's the highest score, and the lowest you could go is -700.
I did not know that.
And it was if you get, I don't remember what the high score, the highest possible one is, but that was if you every single pass went for a 99-yard touchdown. And then to get a -700, you'd have to have a negative 99-yard loss every single play.
Jeez. I did not know that it went that high.
I know. I was like, dang. But
either way, we're seeing some awesome improvement out of Talon.
Yep.
Hopefully he keeps this going, but he's been great. He's been awesome.
Okay. I want to reiterate that I did not say this, but in the press box, someone said, "Oh, if this was Hank, you'd throw an interception on the first play of the drive."
He would.
And I'm like, dude. I'm like, man.
Is it crazy?
I think he did that. Didn't he do that against Nevada or Wyoming
Air Force
or something?
last year?
Air Force?
Mm-hmm.
On the very
we scored,
first play.
Got the onside kick, and then the first play of that drive to tie the game was a pick.
Man, that was...
Is it crazy to say that Talon right now is playing better than Hank, has ever?
Yeah. Or no, it's not crazy to say that.
I mean, certainly better than Hank at any point in our time here.
Yeah.
He looks good.
Dude, that game specifically was probably the best game, like better than any of Hank's best games.
The last two, yeah. He was spinning it against Colorado State. And I know they're not good, but he was still throwing it well. Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah, he's been playing lights out. I think this looks really good for next year. I don't know. The only question mark is Cutter. Like, how much of this is, like, Cutter pulling, and getting a good potential out of. Like, I mean, potential's there, but, like...
Don't get me wrong. It's definitely part of it. But, like...
Well, if you have a good coach, like...
You still got to make the throws.
Yeah.
And he is.
Like, I mean, a good coach can make a really... Like, a great coach can make a really bad team look great. And a really great, like, bad coach can make a great team look bad.
Cardinals.
So, like, yep. So, like, I mean, that's the scary thing is if we don't get I really hope Cutter returns, but...
Yeah, definitely. That'd be huge. But even if it's not all on Cutter, like even if his play calling isn't why Taylon's good, just keeping a young QB with the same guys around him, like it's helpful. So yeah, so we'll see. I think we're still the favorites for the conference, I would say. Yeah.
I mean, who else is gonna? I mean, Fresno State maybe.
Well, it's Wyoming, really. In our division, it's Wyoming. They have the same record as us. One game behind in conference play, and we play them in Wyoming in 2 weeks. So that's going to be a huge game. That's going to decide the division, assuming they don't fall apart or we don't. And then on the other side, I guess you have Fresno State, but we have the tiebreaker over them. So if we win our division, the Mountain West Championship is probably going to be played here, which would be great.
Most likely.
But, yeah.
Anyways.
On to some basketball. The season starts this week.
Woo-hoo.
Wednesday, the day this comes out.
They played...
was our home opener.
Who did they play in their...
Like some D3 school or something. Yeah. But the official opener's on Wednesday against South Dakota State. And then Saturday we play Wazoo in Boise, but not at home. It's downtown, which is wonderful because students don't get free tickets.
Yep.
So that's fun. So I won't be going to that one, but I'll watch it on
I would
TV.
get free tickets, but this game I won't because I didn't ask for it for myself. But
yeah. So what are some of your expectations for the season for basketball?
I think it was Agbo, the transfer or something.
From
he looked
Tech.
really good so far. I think he'll do pretty good. Hopefully Mountain West Championship. I think that should be the bar. At least.
I don't know if that's the bar. It's hard to repeat.
Yeah.
It should be the goal for
that's
sure.
True.
I don't know. I think we're going to be a good team. I think that making the tournament again is reasonable. I mean, losing Acot and Kejab is big. And Armus. I forgot about that.
But it's also we do have Dagenhart in year 2.
Yeah, Dagenhart will be better. Shaver's back.
If we didn't have Shaver last year, we wouldn't have had as many wins. He had a stint where he was going on 3 game-winning shots.
Yeah.
Or something something ridiculous like that.
We got a 4-star.
Yeah.
Who's in here now. We got the transfer from Tech who looks good so far. The team looks solid. And honestly, Armus I thought was going to be a big loss, and he might be. But Milner really came in.
Yeah.
Came into his own last year at the end of the year. He was not very good until, I'd say the last few games, especially the Mountain West Conference Tournament Championship. Dude, he stepped up when Armus got in foul trouble. Milner, I actually expect good things out of this year. So I think the team is going to be similar to last year.
Yeah.
I think we'll compete for the conference, and we'll have a shot at Selection Sunday.
I think also last year what built into it was the confidence where we went on the win streak.
Yeah.
And we had confidence there. Also because I just didn't show up to the game, so that also helped.
That is it.
So combination of maybe confidence and me not showing up at the games might give us for a repeat, but I don't know. I think it's way too early. You can say
we'll also
these,
probably
but
start off better than last year too.
Yeah.
Shot ourselves in the foot the first few games last year before that win streak.
What was it, CSUN or whatever? We put up 20 points and lost or whatever. We had a really bad game
I don't even
against
remember.
someone. I forgot. It might have been. Oh, I think it was Bakersfield.
I honestly don't even remember.
It was we literally dropped 20 points. It was the lowest we've ever scored. With Leon Rice, Leon Rice was like trashing the team. Dude, it was bad.
Honestly, well, remember at the beginning of the year last year, Rice like cut who was supposed to be one of the best players. What was his name? Divine Diablo or something.
Yeah, Diablo.
Was it? I think it was.
No, it was Duchieri or something.
Dude, I swear it was Diablo.
Dude, it was like
I'm making
Dutrieve.
it up.
I think it was Dutrieve.
Why did I think it was Diablo?
It's not Diablo.
Who is Divine Diablo? Who is that?
I don't know.
That's a person. Who is that? He's on the Raiders. Okay, that's why it was in my head.
We got a Raiders player on the team.
But
sheesh.
I think Dutrieve is right.
Yeah. I think
Either way, cut him and then went on the win streak. And people were doubting Leon for that decision at first, but
the reason he was pissed was because they started Dagenhart over him, and then they're like, "Oh, well, but then
Dagenhart's better. I don't know what you want."
Yeah. So, man.
Cal State Bakersfield.
It was Bakersfield.
46-39.
Yeah, that was great. I remember it was so bad he didn't even have any players talk in the post-game presser. It was just him, just ranting about the team.
39?
Yeah.
That's so bad. That's so bad. Okay.
It was really rough. And then we went on a win streak.
Forgot about that.
No one remembers because we went on the streak.
Yeah.
But, man. Dude, that article even won me an award, too.
The Bakersfield one?
No, not that one, but
I was gonna say
the season review one. But man, it's great times.
Well.
On to college football.
Yeah,
this one stung. I thought Tennessee was gonna win this one.
I didn't think they were gonna win, but I thought they were gonna keep it close, and
it was not close.
They did not. Georgia.
Did you hear about Stetson Bennett's phone?
Yes. So Tennessee fans, the night before the game, or Tennessee fans somehow leaked Stetson Bennett's phone number, and they were calling him all throughout the night. So naturally, he scores the first touchdown of the game and hits him with the little celebration, and that was awesome. Yeah, Georgia's there's no close second to Georgia right now.
Yeah.
I mean, who do you even want to put it to? Obviously Tennessee can't compete. Bama obviously can't compete with Georgia.
I mean, the only
Clemson
safe
can't.
one would be Ohio State.
Ohio State just struggled with Northwestern. I just don't see anyone close to them right now.
I mean, I would put them at 2, but I don't think there's any really talks at number 1.
I'd probably put Michigan at 2.
Really?
It's close between those two. But yeah, so Georgia destroyed Tennessee at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Notre Dame blew out number 4 Clemson. Clemson was getting some hate after they got ranked number 4. They were like, "Oh, they don't deserve that," and they didn't exactly prove the doubters wrong, I would say.
Yeah,
they lost 35-14, and then LSU at home upset Alabama 32-31 in an incredible football game. That was just an awesome game to watch. Bryce Young's a magician, but it still wasn't enough.
Man,
this is the worst Bama team in a long time.
I know.
And
it's bad.
It's crazy to think that both of their losses are to top 10 teams by a combined, 4 points. And it's the worst Bama team in a decade.
Well, they almost lost to a couple teams. They were on the verge of going, what?
They almost lost to Texas. They probably would have if Ewers was healthy. Probably.
Yeah.
And then there was another one.
Texas Tech.
A&M.
A&M.
Yeah.
But... So right now it was weird because there's some polls that still had Georgia as number 1, and they had Tennessee at 3 or 2 or something. But then other polls had Tennessee at 1 and Georgia at 3.
Last week?
Yeah, going into that game, which is weird.
I understand Tennessee at 1, but Georgia not being top 2 was stupid.
Yeah,
and now they're the clear 1. The College Football Committee is putting out rankings every week now. They're not out yet, so we only have the AP poll to go off of. But if I had to guess...
I mean, there's 62 first-place votes for Georgia.
In the AP poll, yeah.
Yeah, and it's that's ridiculous. They're the one person that voted for Ohio State.
I don't know what they were watching, honestly. Yeah. I really don't. But TCU at 4 in the AP poll is interesting, and Oregon is up to 6. I would not put Oregon above LSU, personally. I wouldn't. But that's just me. If I had to guess what the College Football Playoff Committee will put out, I think Georgia at 1's a lock. And then Ohio State, Michigan at 2-3 is a lock, depending on what order you want to give them.
I think they'll put Tennessee at 4.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think TCU deserves it. They're still undefeated.
Yeah.
And Tennessee, I wouldn't be mad at Tennessee at 4. I'll say that. I think it should be between those two, Tennessee and TCU. Bama's out. Like, I don't think there's anything Bama can do to make well, they do still play Georgia. Bama has a chance. They shouldn't, though. I think Tennessee can still make the playoff. Georgia is all but a lock. Ohio State and Michigan, as long as they don't lose a game, they're probably a lock. So it seems like everyone's fighting for the 4th spot.
Yeah.
And by everyone, I mean TCU, Tennessee,
Oregon.
I don't think Oregon can make it. I really don't.
If they win out?
If TCU drops a game and Tennessee drops another one, then maybe. But I don't know, man. LSU, I think LSU has a chance. They have 2 losses, but they beat Bama.
You think LSU has a better chance than Oregon?
I do, yeah. I think that the committee is slightly SEC biased, as they probably should be. I think SEC is the best conference. Oregon got massively destroyed by Georgia. Like, just completely annihilated.
Yeah, but that was also the first game of the season where they're kind of figuring things out. You know, Georgia came into that with a ton of steam because they did win the championship. So, you know, sometimes you have an off game.
Yeah, but, like, that was a whole new team for Georgia. Like, they lost so many guys to the NFL.
Yeah,
and
but
they still came out week 1 and
still have the confidence, you know. Like, I kind of expected that Georgia would, like, win. I didn't expect them to, like, steamroll, but, like, I mean, sometimes you have, like, that wake-up call type of thing, so.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't think Oregon's as good as LSU. And they definitely don't have as good of a resume, I'll say. But, yeah.
Did they play USC yet?
Oregon?
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
I don't think they did because USC, they lost to Utah.
Yeah, they did. They blew that lead.
Man, if they didn't lose that game, they'd probably be at 4 right now.
They haven't played USC and they don't. Oregon actually has a tough schedule to close out the year. They have UW at home, and then Utah at home, and then at Oregon State. They're gonna drop one of those games. They will lose one of those games, at least. I think. You think they win out?
Hard to say.
UW's good, man. UW's good.
I mean, it's
Utah's
hard
good.
Because it's like, you know, it's always it's difficult to say because like you never know.
You don't.
Football, like
you know.
It's so.
I just feel like 3 games in a row against quality teams, and especially in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Man.
Like they really only have one good win, Oregon. That UCLA win is like their only good win, honestly. I guess at Wazoo's that's solid. But
well, they beat BYU when they were all hyped up, and they destroyed them.
BYU's not that good.
Yeah, but at that point, they were pretty good. Like, you know.
I guess. But that was early in the season, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Either way, Oregon definitely needs to win out if they have any prayer.
Yeah.
I just don't think they win out. I think they drop one of those games, but we will see.
Man. All right. I also was thinking this. So, you know, with the Pac-12 talks, do you think if Boise State wins out that they still, like, have a chance? Or, like, if they, you know...
I've been seeing some things on Twitter. I have no idea.
They said San Diego State.
Yeah, you saw that too?
Yeah.
I haven't, like, they might announce it within the week.
Why the hell would they bring San Diego State and not Boise State? Especially with Boise State.
I don't get why they wouldn't bring in 2, because they're losing 2 teams.
Well, I don't get why they bring in San Diego State over Boise State. Like, I mean, yeah,
academics.
It's in San Diego.
Academics, that's part of it. They have better academics than we do.
Yeah.
Football, Boise's probably the advantage. Basketball, San Diego State's obviously the advantage. They're perennially, I say that right? At the top of the Mountain West, better than us usually. We don't even have a baseball team.
Oh, that's true.
Which you need for a Power 5 school. So I understand it, but I don't know. I think they should add 2, and it should be those 2, STSU and Boise. I think that makes the most sense.
Yeah. Did you just say Boise?
What?
It's Boise.
That's what I said.
No, you said Boise with like a Z.
My bad.
Man. Oh well. Yeah, I mean hopefully. I was looking, they didn't receive a vote. They received 5 last time and then they didn't receive any.
Oh yeah, you're not gonna lose to an unranked team and get votes.
It's pretty sad, but oh well. Cincinnati's at 74 votes. They're peeking in. But oh well. Okay. What's the next topic?
NFL.
NFL.
All right. I guess, yeah, NFL.
Okay. Dude, I hate the Pack. I told you their season was over. I told you even when they won against the Bucks, I said their season's over. Then because I saw it, they struggled so hard, especially against the Patriots. In this game, dude, Aaron Rodgers threw 3 interceptions in the red zone.
Yeah,
that should have been 3 touchdowns right there. And then
here's my question: you have the ball on the 1 yard line. You have 4 plays. Not one of them do you give it to Aaron Jones.
Well, that's what.
Not one time. You give it to A.J. Dillon once and then you throw it 3 times. Why? I don't get it.
I was on my hot streak with how the Packers were gonna suck. So I think this take is pretty valid. I think it's also I think Aaron Rodgers is to blame for why we're sucking because he, when we went back to our really great year when Aaron Jones had like 30 touchdowns or something ridiculous like that, the reason was because every time we were at the goal line, we just gave it to Aaron Jones and he punched it in.
I feel like you guys did a lot of little like tight end slips on the goal line though.
That first year, it was all Aaron Jones. Every time we had it, it's perfect. And then the year afterwards, that's when we started to do tight end slips because Aaron Rodgers wanted the stats. And then we started to throw it more on the goal line instead. So
it was
Aaron
working for a couple of years, though. It's just not working anymore.
And then that's the thing, though, is that instead of going for the easy Aaron Jones touchdown, we're going for the stats where Aaron Rodgers has to throw it on the goal line. And it's like we have to, just freaking run it.
You try to fade to David Bakhtiari on 4th down.
And then it was an interception. That was ridiculous. Dude, just pitch it to Aaron Jones. If you want to do that, dude, that would have been an easy touchdown.
Do anything else besides throw a fade to your recently injured lineman.
Dude, that was the definition of a stat booster. Like, that was just to say, oh, a lineman got a touchdown. Like, that
was just getting too cute. That was just stupid.
Dude, it was so bad. It was so dumb. And that's on Aaron Rodgers. And I'm willing to bet the reason they had that play was because Aaron Rodgers is close friends with David Bakhtiari.
Maybe.
Too.
I don't know.
I'm willing to bet. Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's also partially... I kind of thought of it this way. I'm glad that we didn't trade for Chase Claypool because he's on such a downward spiral. Did you see, like, his pregame with the Bears? He was just, like, he was jogging a route. He goes like this, and it just bricks up his hands.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, dude... So maybe wasn't.
I think he would be
a 2nd-round pick for.
I think he'd be an upgrade for your team, but I don't think he's worth it too.
I don't think he was worth it too. So I think that makes sense. OBJ at this point probably doesn't want to go to the Packers.
Probably not. I think he's gonna be a Cowboy.
Dude, what if hypothetically we tank this year and trade or like draft like C.J. Stroud or
not even
Bryce
give
Young.
Love a chance?
No. Just don't give him, dude. If he was good, they would start him right now. They would get rid of Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers sat for 3 years.
What?
Rodgers sat for 3 years.
Yeah, but we obviously know at this point that Jordan Love sucks because with all the stuff that Aaron Rodgers is doing right now, he's putting up and throwing 3 interceptions in a game. Like
you can't bench Aaron Rodgers. You just can't do it.
Like I think the organization. They clearly were irritated with Aaron Rodgers when they made the, pick. So they clearly were going to, wanted to move off of Aaron Rodgers. So now when they have the chance to move off of him and they're not, that makes no sense. And there's only one reason, and it's because Jordan Love can't play. It
makes sense.
So I think, hypothetically, if we draft a quarterback again next year.
I don't think so. I don't think there's any way.
Dude, okay. The only way we could get C.J. Stroud or, Bryce Young would be if we like tank in like if we stay at 3 wins for the whole season.
Yeah, you're gonna need to be bad.
Yeah,
I think you're gonna need to be a top 2 pick for one of them.
Well, it depends on who's the other.
So unless you want Will Levis.
Oh no! Oh God!
I don't think it depends. Honestly,
Wait. Let's see who's at the top right now. So like hypothetically,
I think it's the Texans and the Lions.
Oh God!
They would both take a quarterback.
Yeah, 100%.
They would absolutely both take it.
Okay, let me.
Don't get me wrong. Davis Mills has been all right, but not good enough.
Well, I don't know.
To pass on one of them.
We would have the tiebreaker for the higher pick if we lose since we lost to the Lions. Once you get to that point.
Didn't you beat them the first time, or have you only played them once?
We've only played them once.
Oh,
we lost.
You'll probably beat them next time. Oh, it's Houston and Carolina. And Vegas at 3.
Vegas at 3? Oh, dude, Vegas has been bad.
Dude, what?
Man.
Okay, Houston would take a quarterback. Carolina would take a quarterback.
Yeah.
Where Green Bay's at 9. Okay, so Houston, Carolina, yes. Vegas, I would say no. I don't think they take a quarterback.
Pittsburgh,
no way.
Dude, they have Kenny Pickett. They're riding with him.
No, okay. Detroit, yes.
I don't know if Detroit would.
Yeah, they would. Definitely. If Stroud or Young is there at 5?
I would say so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
6, Jacksonville, no. Arizona, no. Chicago, no. So I see 3 teams before the Packers right now that take a quarterback. So say Stroud, Young, Levis. You don't want to take one of the other quarterbacks.
And you know they're not gonna. Oh, well, maybe. They don't like to trade up for receivers, but quarterbacks. That's where they trade up. That's where they are aggressive.
Speaking from experience, trading up for quarterbacks costs a lot.
Yeah, that's true, especially in the top 2.
Yeah.
I see the scenario. If they do, like, if something does drop to if it does drop like past the 2, the Packers might trade up for a quarterback.
Maybe
they could throw Aaron Rodgers in there. If he stays, that would be crazy.
But who would take Aaron Rodgers over drafting a quarterback?
I don't know.
None of these teams.
Well, they're also poorly ran.
Maybe
so
Pittsburgh.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. Rodgers just doesn't seem like he's in it anymore.
Yeah. He just gives up.
I don't think you can in good faith trade for Aaron Rodgers right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe he would be more alive. He'd have more.
He's also kind of washed.
Yeah.
I was seeing some videos on Twitter that
he's not as accurate anymore.
It wasn't even about the accuracy; it was about the reads.
Yeah.
There was 4 videos I saw where he's looking in the direction of a receiver that's obviously about to come open.
Well, the thing is,
and he moves off it. I don't know.
I think what goes into that
that's not Aaron Rodgers. I don't know who that is, but it's not him.
I think it's also because he probably doesn't trust the receiver to catch the ball.
It was the one I was specifically looking at that was the worst was Tanyan, though.
Yeah. So, but Tanyan has had some drops this year too. All of his receivers have been pretty bad with drops.
I feel like of anyone, he would trust Tanyan the most.
Yeah.
Besides maybe Lazard.
Yeah. And even Lazard was dropping some in that game too.
Okay, so this mock I just looked at has 3 quarterbacks in the first 3 picks.
Oh, well, that's great.
Levis is a project. Levis is not ready. So if you want him, you better hope.
What year's Hendon Hooker?
I think Hendon Hooker's eligible, but let's see. The 4th QB they have here is Tanner McKee out of Stanford.
They have us drafting a tight end. Notre Dame, dude.
Dude, he's crazy. Michael Mayer. Or is it Meyer?
Yeah, but do we need a tight end though?
He's so good.
We need a receiver.
He's so good. That's probably going to be the only other quarterback they have here is Tanner McKee. Yeah.
Man.
People were talking about Tyler Van Dyke as a top 5 pick before this year, and Miami has just been an absolute train wreck. So
yeah.
So that's not happening, but I'm 90% sure that Hendon Hooker is eligible this year. Yeah, he is. So is Anthony Richardson.
Do they just think he's gonna return?
I just don't think they see him as an NFL quarterback.
Really?
I think. Let's see. Yeah. So Young, Stroud, Levis, and then KJ Jefferson.
I would take Hendon Hooker.
Oh.
KJ Jefferson. He's not fit. He's more of a...
He's Cam Newton. Like, he's... In every way, he's Cam Newton, it seems like. I love KJ Jefferson. He's one of my favorite players in college. Jaron Hall at 5? Really? I don't know about all that.
They see him play against Boise State.
Yeah, he was not that good. Hendon Hooker.
They have him over... They have Jaron Hall over Hendon Hooker.
Projected round for Hendon Hooker, rounds 2 or 3.
Dude, I would take Hendon Hooker in the second round.
Tyler Van Dyke at 7. Okay, Tyler Van Dyke ahead of Anthony Richardson, if Richardson is on here, is a crime. There's Anthony Richardson. Second, fourth. I don't know. Richardson is a project, too.
Yeah.
He has a crazy high ceiling, but he also could be a total bust. Michael Penix Jr. Michael Penix Jr. will be drafted. I don't know, man. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He can spin it, but I just don't see him being great at the NFL level. And then Jaden Daniels. I didn't know Jaden Daniels was eligible. Him as a mid-round pick is actually really interesting. But
I mean, the thing is, though, is that, too, like, I feel like there's quite a few, like, quarterbacks that could be drafted this round. Like, just in general, this, like, especially with, like, you know, the need of quarterbacks, especially with some top teams, like, or Seahawks. I don't know if the Seahawks are going to draft a quarterback. Would you draft a quarterback if you're...
Dude, I mean, what's their pick at right now? Like, it's not good.
Well, like, in the second round, or, like, if, like, Hendon Hooker was there or something. Do you even bother?
Maybe. It really depends. It really depends who else is there, I would say. I don't know. Let's see. Seattle right now has...
The Cardinals draft a new head coach.
Seattle would have the 11th pick and the 24th pick if it ended right now.
Man. Who's the 11th from?
Denver.
Denver? Oh.
Yeah, Denver.
Man.
Denver.
Yeah. No first round. Or didn't they just draft? They traded Bradley Chubb for picks. Was that Dolphins?
Yeah, so they have the Niners pick.
Oh.
Because we traded ours to the Dolphins, and the Dolphins traded that to them.
Okay.
So they do have a first, but...
Man.
You know,
they're still screwed, though.
Like, respectfully, our first is not going to be as high as the Broncos' first. So
yeah,
they downgraded.
Man.
But
oh, well. Anyways, Cardinals lost to Seahawks.
Yeah, so keeping on the trend of teams that were supposed to be good not being good, the Cardinals got swept by Seattle and are 3-6, and are, I believe, 0-3 in the division. So, I mean, I'm ready to say it. Their season's over.
Yeah,
they're cooked. They got swept by a division rival. I
think all three of these teams, their season's over.
I wouldn't say that yet. I'm there on the Cardinals. I'm almost there on the Packers. I'm like, I still have a tiny bit of belief in the Packers, a tiny bit. And then
wild card is there's no way we're winning the division, especially with the Vikings.
Yeah,
like Vikings have ran away with it.
But you think San Francisco's in the last wild card right now? They're only 4-4. Like it's not over. It's probably over, but it's not over. And then the last team is the Rams. The Rams are 3-5. And they got swept by San Francisco. They just lost to the Bucs. But of these three teams, I think the Rams are clearly the favorite to make the playoffs of these three.
Yeah.
I think that they're still... I want to say they're still a good team, but really they're not. Like they have not been a good team. Their defense is good. Their defense has been playing good. Stafford's not what he was last year. Cooper Kupp is still Cooper Kupp. I don't know what to tell you. But Allen Robinson is not Odell Beckham. Mm-hmm. Not even close. And that is a much bigger downgrade than I thought it was. And losing Robert Woods, too. Like, that's... Mm-hmm. I didn't realize how big of a deal that was going to be. I thought Robinson was going to step up a lot more than he has. He has not. Akers stinks, and he doesn't even want to be there. Their whole run game. Them and the Bucs are the two worst running teams in the league right now. So, I don't know. But I just feel like the Rams will figure it out eventually, but maybe not. I don't know. Wow. Yeah, so they're 3-5. If you had to say right now, if you had to guess, will any of these three make it?
Who's in the wild card right now?
Right now, the 7th seed is San Francisco at 4-4. So the Cardinals have 2 games against San Francisco. The other two don't play San Francisco.
Man.
And then I think the 6th wild card is the Giants, who are 6-2, I want to say. 6-3.
Man, that's rough.
Yeah, 6-2. So the 3 wild cards are Dallas, New York, and San Francisco. Dallas and New York are not going to win their division. I think the Eagles, they won the division. So Dallas, New York, San Francisco. San Francisco could win the division.
I could see Dallas kind of choking a bit. I think they could slide into 7.
New York, I don't know how to feel about New York.
New York's winning it.
I just feel like both New York teams are going to fall apart eventually. But the Jets just beat the Bills, so who knows? I don't know.
Man.
As of right now, teams on the outside are the Falcons and Commanders tied at 4-5, right outside, half a game outside. And Atlanta actually has a tiebreaker over San Francisco.
Oh, yeah, because they beat them.
Yeah. So there's that. And then the Rams are there at 3-5, tied with the Saints. And then the Packers are at 12, and the Cardinals at 13. Jeez, that's bad.
Dude, they're eliminated.
You're one game above the Panthers.
I don't think any of those teams are making in the playoffs, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's way too hard at this point. Even if they win out, it's still really rough.
I will say, I'm biased, don't get me wrong, but I think San Francisco is going to win the division. I don't think Seattle keeps this up all year? ? But I think they win the division.
Dude, I don't know.
And the Rams have kind of had Seattle's number the last few years, and they still have 2 games against Seattle. So
that's true. Did the Seahawks beat the 49ers?
No, we absolutely walloped them. They didn't score a point on offense.
Really?
They blocked a field goal for a touchdown and lost 27-7.
Oh, man.
It was not even close at any point. But
well, Jimmy's here to stay then. It's a lose-lose either way. You win in the division, Jimmy stays.
Only way he stays is if we win the Super Bowl. And at that point, I wouldn't care. We could sign him to a lifetime deal for all I care. I just want one. I don't care.
Yeah.
But
that's have Aaron Rodgers still not having one. Or having one, like, not having more than one.
I just like one. Dude, if we drafted Rodgers, man.
There'd be so many more.
We'd have so many.
Oh, well. Or maybe not because, we drafted Aaron Rodgers and we still have one. So
I feel like we've put better teams around our quarterbacks than you've put around Aaron Rodgers, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Dude, Josh Allen.
Yeah, some other NFL news that makes me want to cry. Josh Allen has an injury in his elbow. It's his UCL. He may need Tommy John surgery. There's a chance, which would obviously take him out for the year. It would be career-altering.
Yeah.
So that would be worst-case scenario. Most people think he's going to be fine. So we'll have to see. He got injured on the last drive of the game against the Jets and then proceeded to throw a 70-yard dime on the run.
Yeah.
But a lot of that was definitely adrenaline. So we'll see what happens. We should have more information tomorrow as we record this, which is Tuesday. And
well, you can't really throw if you get that surgery.
Right. Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. So I think they said they're going to run some tests and have more information Tuesday. So hoping for the best for him. I mean, it's Josh Allen, man. That would be horrible. So,
dude, I think his career would be over.
I wouldn't say it'd be over, but that's...
If you're quarterback and every single time you throw the ball, your arm hurts.
Well, the surgery's supposed to fix that. He'd have to get the surgery, sit out at least the rest of the year, and then hope that he's better for next year.
Yeah, but even when you do get that surgery, it's still
Does this still hurt after?
That's what I heard.
I actually don't know.
Well, they had the whole Moneyball thing, where that one he was a pitcher, and his he had, and then they just didn't want to.
Is that the case with everyone though?
I don't know. Maybe.
That's a good question. That'd be something to figure out.
Surgery and stuff.
Yeah. And then the last, I'd say, notable piece of NFL news is that the Colts fired Frank Reich.
Yeah.
And hired Jeff Saturday.
Yeah. Dude, for interim. It's not even official. It's just interim for the rest of the year.
He is, to my knowledge, the only coach in the history of the NFL to be hired as head coach with no previous experience at the NFL or college level.
Yeah.
The last time he coached was high school in 2020 when he went 3-7 in high school. So there's that. Ooh. I don't get it. I didn't think Frank Reich was the problem. Their offensive line regressed. They have 2 terrible quarterbacks. Jonathan Taylor's regressed. Like, it just... I don't know. I don't understand. I don't know where they're going.
Dude, can we talk about how, like, literally the... I just thought in, like, one sentence, if we did Bean-Boozle, I would have just completely killed myself there.
Yep.
But basically how the Titans got screwed over.
I honestly didn't get to watch much of the game.
Dude, have you not seen the Travis Kelce?
Okay, that I did see.
That was bad.
That's bad.
Dude, PI on the defense. He literally was, if anything, it was clearly PI on offense.
Keywords, if anything, because I just wouldn't have called anything. I think they were holding each other.
Yeah, I don't...
Kelce definitely initiated it, so if you were going to call it, call it on the offense.
It seemed like, the defender was just trying to grab onto anything at that point because Travis Kelce was just absolutely killing him.
I don't know. I didn't like that at all.
Man.
That was bad. But that doesn't take away from how much of a weapon Mahomes is. Like, that dude, he's a freak.
Man.
He's a freak. I can confidently say this.
Dude, I love Derrick Henry.
You give me the chance to start an NFL franchise, and I can pick any quarterback of all time in their prime. I'm taking Patrick Mahomes. And I'm taking it with no hesitation. That's just how it is. I don't think anyone has ever showed the blend of reading defenses, arm talent, accuracy, and rushing ability, the mix that he has. He's an alien. I think that if anyone is ever going to dethrone Brady as the GOAT, it's going to be him.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
we'll see.
If Justin Herbert was on a better team, I think maybe.
I don't think Herbert's even in the same universe as Patrick Mahomes. Like
I think if he was on a better team,
it
would be close.
In terms of quarterback tiers,
I don't think it's
Mahomes,
close.
big gap.
Everyone else.
Josh Allen, another gap. Everyone else. That's how I see it right now. Herbert has not been.
Fair.
Herbert's stepped back this year.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He's still incredibly talented.
This year he's been pretty bad.
Yeah, it has not been. I can't even. I don't know if I'd take him over Burrow this year. Like, just based off what we've seen this year, I think Burrow's played better.
I
think he has. And low-key, bro, just based off this year, Hurts might be 3.
Yeah. Dude.
He probably is.
My boy.
And Geno might be top 5. Like, seriously. I think he is.
Top 5 quarterbacks all time just this year. All time just this year. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, despite surgery.
Yeah. Dude, Geno, honestly.
Don't write him off.
I don't get it.
He didn't write back.
I don't get it.
Dude, how the hell? How?
I watch him, and it doesn't even seem like he's playing good.
I know.
But he is.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
He's so good. You could just watch him, and he's still playing great. I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't. Dude had a renaissance.
That's crazy. It's so funny because no one even cared. Everyone was hyping up Malik Willis at the beginning of this year, but no one cares at this point. He's still irrelevant. Like, I think everyone's just still talking about Derrick Henry. Does he even really watch the Titans?
Willis needs time. He's not ready. He needs time. And what did he complete? 5 passes?
I think he's pretty in like the same boat as like Justin Fields, except for Justin Fields on an awful team. Way worse.
Fields the last 3 weeks has been awesome.
Yeah,
4
but
weeks.
like he still needs time. I feel like to develop.
I think we're seeing
he's on a worse team.
He's got over a year under his belt, and now he's putting it together the last few weeks. I don't think this is fake. I think he's really becoming this.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like
this is why I get pissed off when people give up on Trey Lance so quickly. Like, Fields was awful for over a year, and now all of a sudden it's clicking. He's putting it together. Dude's played 3 games, and everyone's ready to give up on him. Just my little personal rant there, but
I think he's playing better than Trevor Lawrence at this point.
Easily.
Yeah, but it's so hard to be so subjective about sports. when you see, especially football, when you see players regress and like, get better so fluidly, especially this year.
Yeah, especially this year.
Like you think you could predict it, but no. Like every single team that people expected to be like Super Bowl bubble, like outside of the Bills and Chiefs, have been like off. Like dude, Seahawks,
like
Vikings,
Jalen Hurts is an elite. He's an elite quarterback,
man.
Right now,
yeah.
And based on the past, it's hard to call him that, but he is. Geno Smith is at least a top 10 quarterback this season.
Yep.
Which is insane, but it's true. I don't know. This has been a weird year.
Dude, it's so ridiculous. I don't even get it. But
Geno Smith has been significantly better than Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Think about that.
Dude, Aaron Rodgers threw three interceptions in a game, and that was the first time in 72 games that he's done that.
I honestly
didn't. Over 4 years.
I can't even remember the last time he did that.
Yeah. I thought, I
didn't know he'd ever done that.
I think it was in 2017 was the last time he did that.
Jeez.
Like, that's crazy. And, man.
I don't know, man.
Dude. And Tom Brady, he's still been pretty bad. But he's been playing.
He's been playing decent, I would say. I think that people are overblowing how bad he's playing, but he's also not playing as good as his numbers are.
But he's also, 47?
Yeah.
Like,
and I know that's an excuse, but he doesn't really. He's the GOAT. Like,
no,
you don't get an excuse.
He's still playing better than most quarterbacks, and he's what?
He's been I would say that Tom Brady's been a top half quarterback this year.
Yeah,
I think that people like he's definitely lost a step for sure, but he hasn't been bad. I would say. The whole offense is kind of bad. So
yeah,
I mean, when there's no running game and you put all the pressure on your 46-year-old quarterback, it's not going to be great. I don't know,
Man.
But
oh well.
Anyway, that's the NFL. Real quick before we wrap up here, the MLB that we didn't talk about all year, is over.
Yep.
The Astros won the World Series without the garbage cans this time. I think they won.
Yeah, wait for it to come out.
We'll see. They won 4-2 over the Phillies. Jeremy Pena.
I'm so pissed.
Jeremy Pena, as a rookie, was an All-Star, World Series MVP, and you might have to fact-check me, but I'm pretty sure he got a Gold Glove, too, which is an absurd rookie season. They're not missing Correa right now. Correa's definitely missing them. But Pena, World Series MVP, and Houston sports fan and very rich man, Mattress Mac, won $75 million off this World Series.
Really?
Back in August, he placed $10 million on the Astros to win the World Series.
$10 million?
Uh-huh. And he won $75 million off of it.
Wow.
It's the biggest sports bet win of all time by a lot. So good for him, though. He's a really good dude. Whenever Houston's in the World Series, I'm pretty sure he says that he gives out free mattresses to all his customers or something.
Wow.
So this bet really is just him making the money back that he's about to lose. So
yeah.
And then also in the MLB, free agency is starting, or free agency is going to happen. And Aaron Judge is going to be a free agent, as well as Trey Turner.
I don't even know where they'd go.
I don't know. I don't think Aaron Judge is going to be back. I've been hearing a lot of Giants for Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I was about to say Giants.
I don't know about Trey Turner either, because Trey Turner always wanted to stay on the East Coast.
If he goes to the Chargers, or not Dodgers.
The Chargers.
If he goes to the Dodgers, dude,
That'd be crazy.
Watch him.
But yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. It's actually a pretty loaded free agent class. We'll maybe get into that in one of these weeks.
Dude, if he goes to the Angels, we'd still lose.
Still miss. He's not going to the Angels.
If he did on some off occasion, we'd suck.
You got one more year of Ohtani before he's a Dodger. Just enjoy it, and
dude,
or low-key, he might be a Mariner.
Man, I don't.
We'll
I'm so mad. I'm so mad how this season went. For just in general for the MLB. I didn't want the Astros to win.
Yeah, me neither.
I kind of wanted the Mariners to win, I kind of wanted it. And then at Phillies, I kind of liked the Phillies. I was like, I'd rather them.
It would have been really cool to see the Phillies win.
I'd rather the Phillies than the Astros. I'd rather the Yankees than the Astros.
The Phillies had a really good run. Oh. I was rooting for Bryce Harper, but...
Man. Oh, well. Yeah. But, that's what we have for today. Make sure to tune in on Friday when we get our Stuff episode. Should be a fun one. We're going to talk about Drake. My favorite. Is there any other drops? Oh, no, what else? probably
I mean, we've been gone for 3 weeks, so yes, there have been some drops.
Well, yeah, we'll probably touch on those. We'll probably have a game. So it should be an interesting episode. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.